we got a last one. This is Will Atherton Canine Training. I've seen a decent amount of videos of this guy, and whatever. We'll watch the video, I'll just say. We'll see what he's got to say. This one is called Best Trick to Stop Your Dog Pulling on the Leash. Also, one additional thing here. There's not a trick to this, guys.
Yeah.
Like, I understand it's for the title and everything, right? There's not a trick, right? It's just, do you have the communication established to tell them yes and no? And then you just take that communication and you show them. I think everybody, forget him, right? I think a lot of owners are out there looking for that one trick that's going to solve the problem. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Which really not about that. It's about understanding the fundamentals and making sure whatever rewards and consequences you're using are motivating enough to the dog. And as long as you do that, any of these tricks will work. Any of these things will work. But without that side of things, they're all useless.
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
Training, and we have yet another Fox Red Lab with us today, and we have got another case of extreme pulling, which is driving the owners mad. And this is a dog of another friend of a friend who have got to the point where this is just becoming a nightmare. He's a young 1-year-old working line Labrador, so he needs exercise, but because of how badly he pulls, exercising him has become incredibly difficult. So today we are going to be going through my process of how I take a dog from extreme puller to walking really nicely on a loose lead as quickly as possible. Now, in this video, I'm going to go into a bit more detail about my 3-step philosophy for fixing most undesirable behaviors. Now, these are the 3 steps that you absolutely can also take at home. Now, the first step to fixing a bad behavior like pulling is we have to let the dog know that that behavior isn't acceptable. And we call this stage the correction stage. Dogs need to know when they're doing something wrong. Otherwise, they're just guessing what it is that you want from them. So we have to have the ability to make it very clear what we do want and what we don't want. We absolutely have to have the right tool for the job. So, as is very often the case, when dogs become extreme pullers, they start to hurt their windpipe. They start to make those horrible noises. And because people don't want to see their dogs in harm, they'll move over to a harness-based solution, but the harness often makes the problem much worse. Harnesses are incredible. This is our Fenrir harness, but you need to have the right tool for the job, and the harness is not the right tool for addressing intensive or extreme pulling. The tool we're going to be using today is my trusty slip lead. So we're going to switch over to that. We're going to go nice and high, just behind the ears, and we're going to make sure that it's snug. So at the root cause of a dog that pulls really badly is a lack of guidance and direction. And while I've been talking, you've seen that that's exactly the case. At no point is George looking up to me for guidance and direction. He's looking off in the distance and making his own decisions. And those own decisions that he's making are the wrong decisions. That's what creates pulling, lunging, and can often turn into reactivity or aggression. So the thing that we're going to be correcting in this instance is George's lack of engagement with me.
Okay, so again, commonalities between all of these videos. Right equipment fitted properly, obviously, is very important. Everybody's choice of equipment has been different. He wants a slip lead. Beckman uses a regular flat collar. The other guy uses a properly fitted buckle collar. I use a prong collar. The other person uses a gentle leader sometimes. The equipment, again, like the last video said, without the right techniques is useless. Everybody has their preference for equipment.
Yeah.
Totally fine, right? Additionally, said first thing we got to do is correct the unwanted behavior. I would agree, right? Obviously, the first step of stopping the dog from pulling is telling them, hey, when you pull, I'm going to tell you not to pull.
Yeah.
Pretty straightforward, right? Again, let's go. I get it.
When he does engage with me, I've got a pocket full of treats, and I'm going to be praising and rewarding the desirable behavior of him bringing his attention back to me.
Bingo.
And that is what we call our tune-up drill. It's a drill you've seen me do many times before, but with every dog it goes slightly differently. So this is another excellent opportunity for you to watch exactly how that works.
So again, creating engagement and rewarding when being close to us, giving corrections without it. Now, the one thing I like about this video, one, he's showing it. He just gave a couple pretty firm leash pops right there when the dog wasn't giving attention.
Yeah.
Two, so far, nothing he has said has been it's pretty concise. It's well put together, and I'm not hearing any contradicting or anything that has confused me or that I think would confuse your average owner so far. So this is a good video so far.
Good. George? Yes. Good boy. George? Good.
Pretty firm with those leash pops, which, again, if you're on a tool like a
that's
slip lead as opposed to a prong, you got to be extra firm with, right? Which is why I would just use a prong collar. Nonetheless, you would still have to be firm. But, again, to each their own. This will work. This method will definitely work.
Good. Good. Good boy, good. So as you can see, the difference in what was maybe 20 to 30 seconds is astronomically improved. I'm going to give you an example now of when I said, George, let's go. Good boy, good. And this time he isn't wanting to surge out in front of me because he needs to be better aware of me. George, good. I'm just starting to shape it here on my left-hand side. George, yeah, good boy, good. Good boy, good. George, good boy, yes. What a good boy. Sit, good boy, yes. Good boy, good. Huge, huge improvements. Now, that is essentially step one done. I'm happy with the correction stage. I've made it very clear that you now do not pull on this lead when we are out walking together. Now, I can do a whole video about just this correction phase, and we've done many in the past, and those videos have helped hundreds of thousands of people be able to have miraculous results. Now, as a canine behaviorist, I never like to give an owner a dog back in this stage, even if the owner is incredibly happy with this result. Ideally, you have taught this in a positive fashion from day one, and then you don't need to use such heavy corrective or compulsive methods. We use these methods just to quickly say, hey, no, that's not acceptable anymore. But then we move on to step 2 and 3. So step 1 is correction, step 2 is then redirection, and step 3 is reinforcement. And that is where we want to live. And if we only ever stay in step 1 in the correction world, we're missing out on a huge realm of amazing opportunities, not only to teach your dog wonderful things, but build a better relationship. With that line in the sand, we're now going to move forward positively. So step 2 is redirection. I need to redirect him to the behavior that I do want, which is where we start formal heel training. And that formal heel training follows an incredibly positive luring, marking, and then reinforcing based procedure. As we redirect, we need to teach them what it is that we want them to achieve. So we've corrected the undesirable behavior, but now it's our role and our duty to redirect them to the desirable behavior, what we do want from them, which is where we can either free shape the behavior, which is what you just saw me doing. Every time he's in the right position, I'm then praising and rewarding that behavior, and then I can start to cue up that behavior with the term heel. Then you are left with a way to communicate with your dog which is beautiful. You can reinforce the desirable behavior. Tell them what it is that you do want from them, and then you can pay them and reward them when you offer that desirable behavior of be here on my left-hand side or right-hand side, it doesn't matter, but on a loose lead. But now you also have the missing component that most people don't have, which is the ability to say, hey buddy, stop. But what you'll find is as you practice this, and this has unfolded in the last 10-15 minutes, the requirement to correct your dog becomes low to non-existent because we've removed that undesirable behavior. That undesirable behavior is now down from 100% of the time to maybe 0, maybe 1, 2, 5% of the time. So the amount of correction we have to use is minimal. But because we're also redirecting and reinforcing the desirable behavior, that behavior is going to increase. case. And if the undesirable behavior is 5%, then the desirable will be 95, which means we can praise and reward 95% of the time and only need to correct 5%. The more we do that, it is absolutely possible to get your...
Okay, let me just simplify everything because he's going on a little bit of a tangent here right now. and I don't disagree with what he's saying, but he is starting to really overcomplicate a little bit, I think, right? So we correct the unwanted behavior, and then once we don't have to correct the unwanted behavior because the dog is choosing the correct behavior, we reward for the correct behavior.
Boom.
That's it.
Yep.
Dog to 100% desirable behavior, so you're only ever praising and rewarding, and 0% undesirable behavior.
And as you use your corrections, the unwanted behavior should go down, as does your need to correct the dog. And as you reward the correct behavior, the correct behavior should increase, increasing the amount of times that you could reward.
Yep.
More rewards, less corrections as you follow a consistent plan like this.
Yes.
George, let's go. So I hope you enjoyed that video, guys. If you did, don't forget to like and subscribe because we do videos like this.
So let me talk about
week.
my only... So this, in my opinion, out of the 3 videos we watched is the best one so far. It is pretty clear up until the end there, which wasn't unclear. It was just way too complicated, right? Could have been dumbed down quite a bit, right? It showed the corrections and showed the dog's shift of attention post the correction. My issue is he did not show the reinforcement stage of things.
Yeah.
Right? So ideally, he could have spent a couple minutes. I mean, this dog is walking very nice with him right now, right? But the dog is obviously, as is normal, a little bit stressed out because he just got corrected a lot and he's giving him good attention. So now we could showcase good, heavy rewards when the dog does it correctly so they could then see the stage of the dog getting more comfortable in the training process.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, solid video. I got no problem with that, actually. I don't know if I thought that was going to be the best one or not, but that was the best one for sure.